I have awake apnea. This motherfucker got awake apnea.
Okay.
This motherfucker got awake apnea. That'd be my crowd work.
But like you kind of do.
I definitely, nobody has awake apnea more than my dad.
Your
He's just
dad definitely has
sitting
awake
there and he's
apnea.
Like, you're like, holy shit.
The weirdest thing about that entire situation with your dad, I can't say the weirdest thing about your dad because that's not it.
How much time do we have?
Yeah, right.
Please.
That's a special episode. That's behind a paywall.
Yeah, that's our Patreon.
That's our Patreon. But the craziest thing is when I first met him, he was making these noises, and you and your mom were sitting there like this.
Yeah.
Zero reaction. The man is like choking to death behind you. He's like, and then your mom's like, oh, bless you. I'm like, bless you?
Yeah.
Is that a sneeze? I'm like, I think he just had a stroke.
We brought him to a doctor, and the doctor just put a pillow over his face. It was just like, stop breathing. No, he used to work with this guy who was like, I don't want whatever you have caught. like pre-COVID. He was like, stay over there.
I mean,
think it's just like
upsetting.
really bad allergies mixed with like just
I'm like, do you know what allergies are?
Yeah.
Does he need an EpiPen? What the hell?
Yeah, he does. He probably does.
He probably needs like some, like, I don't know, like course correcting, like expand your tubes. Like what's the drug that like makes your tubes open up again?
Dupixent? I don't know.
I don't know.
What do I know? I'm just a really knowledgeable drug rep. How did we get on apnea anyway?
Wait, also, that just made me think of how my mom thinks you're a doctor, even though you literally just sell drugs.
I am, though.
That's like talking to the kid in
So
high
do
school
I.
who's like dealing weed, and she's like,
You're a botanist.
she's like, can you help me in my garden? You know a lot about green. She texted me a picture of her toe because she got stung by like a yellow jacket or something.
I saw it live, too.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And then she's like, Alyssa, this is on a group chat with Samantha and me, okay? Not even the whole family. She's like, Alyssa, can you ask Noah what I should do? Why would you know about what to do with like a bee sting?
I actually tend to know these things.
She just
to be
thinks
honest with
you're
you.
frequently swollen.
I do. Yeah. She's like, he's all head swollen.
She's like, he must have gotten stuck by a bee.
He's going into anaphylactic shock from. How did we get on apnea though? What were we talking about before that? Before we started rolling. How did we get on apnea? I just asked you a question. Hello, you're like Henry now. I'm like, Dad asked you a question.
Because we were talking about Henry and how he was sleeping on my head last night.
Oh yeah, so I took a picture of it. It was incredible. His body was in L shape around your head. It was really like, we get it. You like her. Like, take it easy.
Well, it really goes back to my original thought when I first had the baby, which was get back inside, reabsorb into my body where you'll be safe.
Yeah, that was a strange yet understandable time.
Was it? Was it understandable?
It was understandable once I understood it. Once I was explained it.
Speaking of mom things, I had a drink last night with Sean Denis, shout out, who I discovered was following you on Instagram, but not me.
You also found out a celebrity follows you on Instagram. How do you tell if someone follows you on Instagram? Does it say it next to their profile?
You look at their profile, and if it either says, like, connected or something, or it says follow back.
Oh, so if it doesn't say follow back, you know they follow you. What?
No. If you're following each other,
yep,
it's like it says like you're connected or something. I don't know what the Instagram term is for it, but there's an indication that you're connected.
Tell your Sean Denis story. I'm sorry, I've derailed you.
God, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
You had a drink. Otherwise, I'm going to go into my Henry stuff.
Oh, I was just saying that we have kids the same age, and we went out for a drink last night. I took her to the new Moss wine bar across the street from us. And we were the only people in there, and I asked the guy if he was like even ready to have people, and he's like very French. He's like, yes. Like he was so annoyed by the question.
Was it better than when we went?
Much better.
Oh,
much
good.
better.
Okay.
And then they gave us like a special drink, and this other woman came in with her baby and some other woman. I don't think it was her mom, but she like carried the stroller down the stairs, and then the baby like sat there while they had like, wine and cheese and whatever. And Sean and we were just talking about how like now our kids are so active and it's like exhausting and like whatever, and they don't sleep and they're all hyped up all the time and they hate school and they cry, and then they like, you close the door and they're still crying and it's like so brutal. And we were like, we miss the days of wine bar baby. I'm like, Noah and I lived wine bar baby life for as long as we possibly could, to the point where we would go and say to Mas, like, we have exactly 45 minutes. Like,
But it's also almost like some of those early days weren't that hard, really. We were just really tired.
Well, that's what makes it hard.
And we were just really worried, but really nothing. That's why I always say second baby's easier. Third baby's like, you don't even, it's nothing.
After you left this morning, just to like plug having a second baby. So Henry finally like got out of our bed and like stepped into the light, and Pearl was already in the living room and came running up to him and was like, Henry, hug, hug.
I know.
And it was so sweet. And he was like, you get an X. And I don't know what that is.
Well, he's been doing like this.
Yeah,
we have
he was
video.
getting
He
X.
goes, you're getting an X.
I'm like, is that like a cootie shot? What is that?
I don't know. Like, he comes home with some weird stuff from school sometimes. But last night he goes, Dad? I go, yeah. He goes, I'm really proud of you. I go, for what? He goes, for listening to me.
Aw, that's cute. You know what he got mad at me about last night?
What?
So I was like trying to get him to go to sleep, and then clearly I missed the window, and then he was like overtired and upset. He was looking at my eyes because I had gotten a little bit dressed up last night, and he goes, what's on your eyes? What's on your eyes? And I was like, what are you talking about?
My jump shot.
And he goes, there's something on your eyes. It looks different. And I go, oh, it's mascara. And he goes, I want mascara.
Yeah, you're trying. You're trying.
I was like, okay.
I was like, boys don't wear mascara.
I was like, I have this great mascara. It'll go great with your new unicorn dress that I bought you. No, I had to explain to him that like you put on makeup in the morning or like when you're going to something, not before you go to bed.
Right.
And then I was like sitting there and I was like, well, I definitely was not allowed to wear mascara at 4. That's like some John Bonet stuff.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I don't really want him to wear mascara, but I'm like, I also don't want to like.
Just tell him to hurt his eye.
Well, I might just get like a toy makeup kit for them. It's like fake. Because Pearl will play with it too. You know, like how we have like the doctor stuff.
I'm just fake caring because everybody's expecting me to go, no, not on my son. I don't care. I wore heels and pearls until a couple years ago. He stepped on my punchline. The best thing that Henry does, and as a salesperson, first of all, you've made fun of me before for this, but like my favorite part of running the monthly show is watching the ticket sales. I'm texting the guy in Boston. I was showing Boston. Shout out to myself. Saturday.
We have like dueling shows on Saturday.
I go, how many tickets now? He's like, 10. Next day, I'm like, what about now? He's like, 10.
Wait, but 10. Do you text it or you have like an updated dashboard?
I have a dashboard from the club we do in the city. But the guy in Boston,
the Boston guy.
The Boston guy had to text and be like, what about now? Because I went on LinkedIn and sent individual LinkedIn messages. I hit up a girl that I just went to school with who I never I have no relationship to. I go, Sarah, it's been too long.
Sarah.
I go, how are you? Anyway, I'm headlining this show in Boston. This is what I used to do when I was in real estate. It was just, hey, I wanted to hear about your company. Just real smooth, and she's like, can't do Saturday. Hope you're doing great, whatever. She responded. But like a lot of people go, yeah, I got some LinkedIn message from fucking Noah. And it's like, yeah, because you go, ooh, must be important. It's on LinkedIn. And then it's not. It's my show. Got him.
Well, I also think that on LinkedIn, the amount of AI bots that are being used for outreach, it has reached like a fever pitch. And obviously people are attuned to that and are not responding if they think it's just like spam. And you are very spammy. But I think like...
No, but I don't come across as spam because you have to write kind of clunky, and then they go, this can't be a computer. This sucks.
Too stupid.
Run-on sentence, you know.
They're using the wrong your.
Yeah.
Hope you're well.
Good to see you with the number.
Yeah.
But the best thing Henry does now is he closes us. He knows that the way that this is very sales. Like, he could be a sales trainer now. The way that he's allowed to do something is we say, sure. So he comes in with his iPad. He goes, can I use the iPad? Say sure. Say sure.
Well, my favorite, me, he doesn't say sure. He goes, can you say sure? He goes, Mommy, can I look at planets on your phone? Can you say sure? He says it so fast. The other thing that cracked me up that he did the other day was that, so he's gotten into this bad habit that I actually kind of think is from
Smoking.
school. I'm fine with smoking. It's just weed. If someone calls him and says, "Oh, Henry, whatever," he goes, "What?" And you actually do that too.
Oh, I know. This was one of our early fights, but now you don't even have time. It's just dropped down. I still do it, and it's still annoying.
And
but
it's still deeply annoying. Oh, that's what we're going to do on this pod, airing of grievances.
Oh, yes. I can't wait.
But you only get to do one.
First, let's make a pact that we love each other. We're not trying to change each other because it's impossible.
I take it back. I don't want to do airing of grievances.
You know what mine is, and it has to do with the Princeton show.
And guess what?
What? Just do it. Come on.
No,
Come on.
wait, in a minute.
You know you do it, so it doesn't matter.
That doesn't make it matter. So anyway, so you say Henry, and he goes, "What?" So Indira was like, "No, can you say yes, Indira? You know, like it's just nicer."
Yeah.
So he had me dying because he goes, "Dira, Dira," like this is like a totally separate day, whatever. And she goes, "What?" And he goes, "No, can you say yes, Henry?" It was so obnoxious. It was like, without the context of her having taught him to do this.
She looks like the prince.
Right. It seemed like, "No, you address me as master," you know, so obnoxious. And I was like, "Oh my God." But then I was like, oh, it's because he's obviously such a good mimic and he's like miming it back to her. But I was like, good Lord, like this is not. And of course she's like hysterical laughing. Like,
well, let me tell you something. I saw something on Instagram that says that men, when they're in a task, just want to do the task. And women, if they don't check in all the time and get their little, they feel not connected. So a lot of times someone comes in, you're in the middle of doing something amazing for your family, and someone goes, blah, 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 and you go, "What?" And it comes across all rude, but they don't mean it.
Are you talking about yourself or me?
I'm talking about myself. I was said a man.
When have you been doing a task?
I'm constantly doing tasks nonstop. Yeah. See how the money be
You're
flowing
like a task
in?
rabbit.
Remember when, you know how the money be going into the account? You know what occurred to me too, as I interrupt myself? Henry doesn't know what money is. So
Right.
you see, he kept being like, "This is my house. You don't live here." And I'm like, "It's my house because I pay for it." And he's like, "What is money? What?" We have to read that Berenstain Bears book.
Okay.
Sorry to bore you on your podcast. Do you want to air your grievances, or do you want to get into the next topic?
You can air your grievance.
No, if you're not in the mood, then don't do it because you know what mine is.
Yeah, do it then.
All right. So I'm going to start at the end, okay? The end of the story is...
Or do you want to start with Princeton show and then air your grievance?
No, I'm already in my grievance now. I'm already deep in the hole.
It connects to the show.
Yeah, so I'm doing the same thing as you. I'm just doing it my way. We're going into the Princeton show with a grievance. I'm going to start at the end of... Here's the end result of your grievance.
Oh, no.
I'm so stressed I don't have any time. That's the end of the grievance. The beginning of the grievance is, all right, guys, got to go. Full 15-minute goodbye inside the bar after the Princeton show.
Don't do spider hand. Don't do
why
spider
not?
hand. It's a very... what's his name from Adam's Family? Thing.
I was with Mike Greenman, and he kept doing this. He was like doing the chop and I'm like,
what is a two-hand chop?
He's because I think he's a G League coach. So I think he's like on the pick and rolls. You're icing. You got to get below the big.
I don't think I've ever done this before. Whoa,
he was doing it nonstop. I said, "Put your chop hand away from me."
This is a very uncomfortable thing for me to do.
The
it's
grill
like
guy,
honestly, like hurting something in my neck.
The grill guy one I like is this one. He's like, when people think everything you're saying is smart because you're going, should we think about it?
And what is this?
It's like when you're making a
crab
suggestion.
claw?
I don't know. I see it as like kind of turning a wrench.
But your hand's the wrench?
Yeah. You're kind of like.
This is like one of those improv things where they're like, if you're holding up a gun, you know, you can't be like bang bang. Like you have to be like holding a gun.
Right. Your hand can't be the gun.
Right.
You're not titanium alloy from Terminator 2.
And they were saying like when I took this class, you know, pre-pandemic, that's another weird thing is like when people answer the phone, they'll be like, "Hello?"
No, this would be it. You did it right. Wrong would be this.
But
you're holding a phone. But
no one holds a phone like this anymore. This is like a landline. It'd be like this.
Okay. Well, if I started an improv, I'd be famous right now. I'm one of the best improvers of all time. Ask me any improv.
Listeners of the pod, no, that's not true.
So
we should do a Noah Savage true or false.
there's nothing, you know this, there's nothing I'd like to talk about more than myself.
We know.
So 15-minute goodbye outside the club. No, not outside the club. In the club, in the bar. Then the same group, I did it again. Then the same group moves 10 feet out.
Get your itsy bitsy spiders out of here. Chop, chop,
You,
chop, chop.
you continue to say goodbye
You
to
do
them
spiders
again.
and I chop them down.
Yeah. Then one of the people we're with, shout out Christopher, Nicholas, and Peter,
Yes.
great fans of the show,
And
walks
maybe
with us.
some of my favorite people of all time.
Walks with us. And now I'm like, now
Yeah.
you're saying goodbye again outside to the same guy outside of our apartment. That's 45 minutes we could have
You
been
don't know
doing
what it's
something
like
else.
to be Italian.
I know.
We had to talk about our pasta recipes.
You're like, totally, you get it. Little spring. Is that what you're saying? You're just doing recipes.
I'm like,
You're like, little basil. But I've decided to live with it. I'm not trying to change you. But if you're saying Italian goodbye, then Irish goodbye away from it. I go, I'm just going to see you at home. And that's a good compromise for our relationship, right?
sure. Well, the problem is you're usually in a rush because you have to poop.
Lately, it's been a lot of that. I have barely made it. like full clear out the block
This could be
type
like
of situation. I'm running in, and I'm talking 3 out of the last 4 nights. I've gone, get out of the way.
also like our doorman is there and he's like, hey, he's like, good to be home, and you're like, can't talk, gotta go.
And I don't even go up to. I go to the downstairs, only for the doorman
Yuck.
single stall.
Yeah, they're bummed out by that. You got to get them a gift or something.
Well, of course we do every year. Please,
Yeah, but you should get them like a.
everybody's got their hand out. Come on,
That's true.
Mike. Here, a guy I've never seen before. There you go.
I when you used to park in a garage, I used to love that too. They hand you a Christmas card and there's like 20 names on there, and you're like, now you're just writing down names.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know there's only 3 guys who work here.
And honestly, glad to do it. And we know how I feel about holiday gifts. Glad to gift to all the people who deserve tips.
Of course.
We don't need to be gifting up ways, side to side, this way, that way. But everybody who services us, we of course give amazing tips. And we know this because they treat us so well in January.
I do tip everyone who services me.
I love, you're supposed to. Otherwise, you hear from the other guy.
Otherwise, yeah, get a chop.
All right, Chophead, what is
I
your...
really can't do this. It's like really hard for me.
It's hard for me to do. It takes me out of my rhythm. What's your grievance? And let me say something right now. Let me talk to my lawyer. We're not admitting anything.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I do this annoying thing.
I listen to a lot of true crime, and I do always love that where proper reporting, they always have to say alleged unless someone's already been convicted or whatever. But it's like, it is funny because they'll break down like just an absolutely devastating amount of physical evidence, and they're like, and the alleged suspect. I'm like, yeah, he did it. I mean, I'm glad you're saying alleged to protect the due process, but like, for goodness sakes. Anywho, what grievance should I pick?
Oh, you don't even have one, see? Because I've been so good lately.
Well, the what thing does make me nuts.
Wow. Let me tell you something.
Wow.
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 I'll continue to work on it.
You know what my next grievance is?
What?
You like to keep random piles of crap
Yep.
all along the side of your bed. It's like one half of our room, there's like an adult woman who lives there. The other side is like
Who?
maybe
Who's the adult woman?
me.
Oh, okay.
The other side is like a college dorm room. Like it's a switch in the middle of our room where it's like on the other side there's like dirty napkins.
Yep.
There's like balled up jeans. There's like half a suit on the floor. There's liver models.
Yep.
There's like random coins.
When I, wished that in my future life I'd be surrounded by models, I should have been more specific, right? It's like liver models. So can I explain the solution to this problem?
What do you think my liver looks like? Hot?
Like the T-Pain on your shirt there. It's holding a drink. And it's like, another one? Should we?
Can I just say, shout out to T-Pain. He was awesome in concert. And also...
Don't rush T-Pain. Just let me finish my thought, which was you just need the third bin and we'd be fine. There'd be no piles.
Third bin.
Dirty, clean, lightly worn. I'll wear it again. Now there would be no piles.
But what about all the papers and all the like random things? There's literally like...
When I became a father, I started having balled up napkins and papers in my pocket. I don't know why.
My dad always had balled up tissues
You do.
and chapstick, original chapstick.
Yep.
And so
Same.
now, actually, even when I like smell that smell, it's like really, it like really makes me sad because it's like such a specific
Yeah.
dad, you know. And there was also a time where like, you know, we were commuting together. So it was like the balled up napkins, original chapstick, and the smell of the newspaper.
Well, nothing will ruin your day more than having chapped lips and having no access to chapstick, which is why it's an incredible joke in Napoleon Dynamite when he calls home. Oh, my lips are so chapped. I used to have always chapped lips. Pain. You feel the pain.
Yeah, poor Henry's face gets
But
so
now I'm
chapped
rich.
too.
I can have as many chapsticks as I like. I buy 3 packs.
Did you like when I got Pearl a chapstick and she just bit off the top? And I
Yeah,
was
she's like, yum.
I was like, oh no. I'm like, one child is perfect, like putting a mascara, and the other one's eating lipstick. I'm like, that's not great.
Last time when you were out, by the way, it was a madhouse at times, but I was like, she wanted something crazy, which I forget. Oh, they both wanted ice cream cones, but we didn't have any ice cream.
Yes, we do. It's in the back.
Well, I looked for it. I thought we did too, but I couldn't find it.
It's very much in there.
So then she's like, ice cream. And she's pointing to the picture on the cone box. I'm like, you could have a cone, but there's no ice cream. She's like, ice cream. And I'm like, do you want a pop? Which she calls lollipop. And she's like, yes. I'm like, God, you've had like 4.
This morning when I was trying to get the kids out of the house before my foot surgery, she found the box of cones, I guess, from last night. And she was like, cone. And then they both wanted cones. And then I gave them to them. And they both just immediately turned them around. So like the bottoms of their mouth and went. And I was
awesome.
like, okay. And poor Indira was like, I don't even know what is happening right now.
I was like, you have to eat them on the wood so I can sweep up all these damn crumbs.
We need to vacuum tonight. It's disgusting.
Now we're getting really inside.
Anyway.
What's their pod about? They just talk about vacuuming.
But like, oh, I know what my grievance was. It's related to the piles.
Okay.
Someone allegedly
Yeah.
cannot get something into the bathroom garbage pail. It is always next to it.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Yep.
I don't know how. I thought you were a basketball player. I thought you could get things into a bucket.
Well, easy solution. Get one of the garbage cans that has a backboard and a hoop. Probably, you know, we get a Knicks one. Bank shot. That's all good.
I don't even, the bathroom is not big enough for you to be missing this can. It's like literally part of the toilet. I don't have a solution for that.
Yeah, it's a common male problem.
Yeah.
You know why we're busy making money? We don't have time.
You're busy pooping all over my house.
Yes, we don't have time for that crap.
Anyway,
I'm consulting my notes so we don't skip stuff.
I had my foot surgery this morning. So I have these 2 crazy bandages on both of my feet right now. And I thought about posting a picture like post-op. But then I realized that everyone on the internet is like a foot freak. So I got nervous.
No, post pictures of your feet on the internet. Then you won't have a day job. I got served my first foot model today on Instagram.
Ugh.
And I was like,
And you liked it.
I was like, well, they're pretty nice. But she's like, time for you to lick them. And I'm like, oh, some people are like really into feet, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, I'm just saying that I'm into feet the way I'm into, you know, arm. It's fine.
Arm?
Yeah.
You're into arm?
So I went to the Knicks game. God, I'm not into arm, obviously. What am I, GAY?
You didn't go to the Knicks game either.
I went to the Mets game. But the interrupting T-Pain over there won't ever give it a
buying you a drink.
It was a Latin night.
He's sober now.
Now, I'm going to sound a little bit like, what's that show you watch where she was in the bunker?
Kimmy Schmidt.
I'm going to sound like Kimmy Schmidt because I haven't been to a baseball game in probably a year.
Only a year?
Maybe 2 years. I went when Mitch threw out the first pitch in the Yankees
Yeah, I was
stadium.
with you.
Oh, yeah. In any case, it was a Latin night.
That was at least 2 years
What do you
ago.
wait till I start talking and then start talking? You literally were quiet and I started talking and you went,
That's the bit. That's the bit. That's the bit. Chop, chop, chop.
You know my favorite demographic?
Chop, chop, and spider hands.
My favorite demographic divide on our pod is that the men go, Alyssa won't stop interrupting you when you're in the zone. And then people listen to you who are women and they go, Noah, shut up, let her finish. Exactly divided amongst gender lines 18 to 35 in our data. I go to the Mets game. Thank you. It's Latin night. My sister invited me. It's great. Like we have like 2 rows. It's all her friends. $45 down the third baseline. Beers are $5. They hit 6 home runs in the first inning. It was the best baseball game I've ever been to. Back to you.
Wait,
we're gonna get.
This is why you're.
We're gonna get a chess clock.
This is why you're so bad at sideline too, because you get nervous when someone actually does give you the space to tell a story. You get nervous, like you like when someone else is like interjecting because you feed off that energy.
Yeah.
But when they throw it to you and they're like, "Is that what you're hearing down on the court, Noah?" You're like, "That is what I'm hearing down on the court." Back to you. You like panic and like lose sight of whatever funny thing you were going to share in the first place. And it is adorable, but it's also like wild.
No, the problem with sideline for me is that sideline is an information gathering task. Color is tell me what you think. The whole time for 2 hours, it's heaven. Sideline is coach, what do you think?
Right. But I'm just saying, you do sort of you sort of get like a little like panicky.
I hope I never sideline a game again. Ever. Forever.
I hope I remain firmly in the sidelines.
But the game was sensational. They have another new innovation that you'd love.
Name 3 players on the Mets.
Miguel Tejada.
Okay.
David Wright, maybe retired.
David Wright is definitely not still on the Mets.
There was another white dude who has kind of a bat on the shoulder stance. He's their best player. Hits for power.
You couldn't.
No idea.
How many beers did you have at $5 a pop?
Well, they were 5 for the normal size cans, but they were 17 for like a 24-ouncer.
Wait, what?
Like a normal can was $5.
Yeah.
But I thought the triple beer for 17, it's like 5 and change. And then that's why I put up the poll is, wait, is one beer 8 ounces or 12? Because I was like, it's either 2 beers or 3 beers.
That seems like, why didn't you just get 2 regular sized beers?
Because the line, of course, is insane. That's how they get you. So I got one from the vendor, and then I told the story about Pearl with the chowder. But what they have now is they have a beer fridge, and you self-checkout.
That's
so
hilarious.
You go in the fridge, boom, boom, two tall boy, like giant cans. And then I'm checking out. I go, well, how do I tip you, though? Because, of course, there's a person there, because otherwise people would just grab them and not pay for them. And they go, oh, we can't get tipped. I'm like, but you did the exact same thing that you would have done over there. And she's like, even bringing this up, you're a hero.
That's what she said?
No, she said, yeah, I don't know.
She was like, I don't care. I don't love that. I like my bartenders to be like in it with me, and like, when you go to a Knicks game and you just like lock in with one bartender, and then that's the person that you go to the whole game. And then obviously if you're there with someone with season tickets, they already have a person who knows them or whatever. And then they just like make the experience like a little bit more fun and enjoyable. Like you're at a bar, not like, oh, I'm like, if I was going to BYOB to a Mets game, like that's kind of like, all right. I mean, I guess I could do that. It's kind of a bummer, but
it's good for like line moving purposes. But I agree with you.
I don't like it.
If you can't do it without having no people involved, then you should at least put a thing where you can tip the person. It's the one place in all of society where you can't tip.
Yeah, that's
Get
weird.
the coffee, they flip it around. You want to tip? You want to help the homeless? You want to help the animals? I'm like, I don't want to do any of it.
I do always think it's weird to do like the roundup thing.
Yeah, Katie Hannigan has a joke about this where she's like, "You're CVS. You could cure cancer.
Right.
You're with 352 billion. Like, you do it."
Yeah, I don't. It used to be much more uncomfortable because I remember going to the supermarket with my mom, and they'd be like, "And do you want to make a donation today? To like whatever children's hospital?" And you're like, "No." Like you have to like you have to say it audibly out loud instead of just like hitting the red button. But I'm like, that was really brutally awkward. It's like, and then of course like I'm a little kid and I'm like, well, we want to help the kids, sick kids. My mom's like, we've helped enough.
I give monthly to St. Jude. Every year they robocall me to try to upsell me a little more, and I say yes. And that's why when people go, Noah, you're a piece of shit. I show the receipt.
You go,
I go,
I
"Oh,
donate
yeah."
to St. Jude's.
St. Jude's Hospital, fully funded by my $26 a month.
That's a lot of money.
I know. Well, it's less than HBO Max.
Well, I don't have any disposable income at the moment, so I've just been donating blood, saving lives left and right.
No, I was the king of donating blood until COVID happened, and those people made me wait 4 hours, 5. Good job. Good job. Suck your little blood out.
Yep. In honor of Halloween.
Deadliest catch.
Wait, but do you know what's embarrassing about how much I donate blood now?
They know you.
Not only do they know me, also
They know your cookie selection.
they know my cookie selection. Also, like they see my, I don't want to brag, but I've donated over a gallon of blood,
Whoa.
which puts you in a different echelon. You get a black card.
It should be red.
What?
It should be red.
The first one you get is red. When you become a higher
And
donor.
what kind of shopping privileges do you get with your black blood card?
I just place it on the table.
Count Chocula over
At
here.
Chanel, they're like, this is a blood donor card. But yesterday when I went, they were like running really behind. All the people working were being really nice, but they were super disorganized. And I ended up basically like volunteering to like get everyone in order. So
You're like, which arm?
no,
Time people off.
I was like, you have to wait over here, and then they're gonna call you, and then you have to fill out this form, and then I was like, in the booklet next to the computer, that's where they list out all the drugs that you need to double check that you're not on to donate. And this woman was like, wow, like you really know your stuff. And she was like, do you work here? And I was like, no, I'm just donating blood. And then I got stuck talking to this kid who clearly just graduated from college, and he is also not working right now, but he has a job offer. He's just like starting soon. And so we were like talking about like what to do in the city when you have time on your hands. And I was like, you got to go see some shows. You do stuff in the middle of the day when no one's there, museums, whatever. When I told him to like go see a show in the middle of the day, he was like, I hadn't thought of that. He's like, that is such a good idea. And I was like, okay. And then like literally like sincerely thanked me like 4 more times before I left. I was like, all right, I got to go eat my Lorna Doones. Like, bye.
Well, it reminds me of the whole tow truck fiasco where car wouldn't start. First guy comes to jump me, couldn't jump me. Second guy is towing me, but I'm like, I got to hop in with you. And there's like could be 15, could have been 25 guy in the middle. And I go, who's this? Because the driver's very talkative. And this kid is literally like, and he's very hairy. And so I knew he wasn't a child, but, he goes, I go, is this your son? He goes, no, it's my brother's son. And he drives for like a full minute. He's like, got to keep him off TikTok. And I'm like, is he like working for you? He's like, no, just riding around. And the kid's just, and the guy goes, where do you live? And I go, you're on my block. That's where you got my car. He goes, wow, how much is rent? And I tell him, and he goes, that's too much. I go, I know. And he goes, rent shouldn't be more than $3,000. And I go, yeah.
I totally agree. I'm like, I feel like that is right. So he was onto something.
Yeah. And then he brings me to the wrong place. And I'm like, the service center is not here. I go in to double check. Car's halfway off. I go, get it back on. It's a mile away. And he's like, he doesn't want to do it. But now he's been chatting me up. He's my buddy. I go, we got to go around. It's 5 minutes. He goes, are you sure? Check. So it is 5 minutes, but then one of the roads is closed. It becomes 10 minutes. And he's like, ugh. So he brings it all the way to the service center, and they're like, just all these guys vaping. They have long hair. They're so high. They're fixing cars. People don't go there. Like, customers don't go there. They're like, why are you here? And I'm like, they just told me at the other place across the railroad tracks to bring it here. And they're like, oh, you didn't have to do that. And they're like stunned to see a human. Like, they're like putting their pants back on. Like, it's a very chill workplace.
Like when you first told me the story, I was like, are they hiring? I was like, I want to go like.
It looks awesome.
I want to go laze about with like the mechanics who just like wait for the Subarus to break down.
Yeah, and then they give me a ride back to the other Subaru place. So this is now like my third leg of this journey. And they're like, and then I have to wait or whatever, but there's like a great snack buffet. So then finally I'm eating, peanut M&Ms or whatever. And then I leave the car there overnight and they're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it at all. Like, we're not going to charge you for the like basically they were like embarrassed for me. They're like, we can't charge you for a diagnosis. Like you left the light on, our kid. So, yeah. Was that a bad story or you told me so, or neither?
Neither, really. I sort of blacked out. I'm so tired.
What? I had this thought about The Night Of, which I rewatched, and in true crime in general. I wanted to get your thoughts on this.
The Night Of is not true crime, but go ahead.
Well, it's fake crime.
It's fictional.
Fictional, right? Also known as fake crime.
Fake crime.
The rise of fake crime in the 2010s was pre-COVID. This lady's murdered. My favorite murder.
My favorite murder is true crime.
Yeah, but I'm saying the crime genre was hot.
Hot.
Crime's red hot, baby. What do you got? I'm like an agent. You do any crime? I think it's because pre-COVID and what followed, and honestly pre-Trump to some degree.
So many pre's.
Yeah. Pre-war building.
Preview.
Prerequisite.
Go on.
Like
predetermined.
You wanted dark stuff because things really weren't that dark yet. So the darkness was prevailing, and now I think like I'm exhausted of true crime. I rewatched this and I was like, this is too dark for enjoyment.
Because it's
really
not true
dark.
crime.
I know. Stop making the same point.
I just listened to a true crime episode on my way over here about this woman who, honestly, it's an incredible story. She was like in her 40s and she started this. She basically was like, I feel like I haven't done anything in my life. Like I haven't like contributed to the world. And she started this program at a local correction facility where the inmates would train the dogs from a shelter so that the dogs would be more adoptable, basically.
Right.
And she's like, and the inmates were like so happy because they had a dog companion. And then she's like, they would like cry when the dogs would get adopted. And so she would always have more dogs to give them, like whatever. So she ends up like having a relationship with one of these guys. And then she helps him break out of prison by taking him out in a dog crate. Mm-hmm. And there's a great moment in her interview where she's like, so she has to go through like 3 or 4 security checkpoints.
Wait, a man in a dog crate breaks out of prison?
Yeah.
In a dog suit?
No. He's
just in there
the dog
and they
crate.
don't check?
Also,
can you see into a dog crate?
I guess some of them are like a little bit more closed, but also like the man was 6'2". Like he would have had to like seriously bend himself, like seriously, to get into a dog crate. So she gets through all like 3 or 4 security checkpoints to get off the campus. And so then she's going like, Jason? Because she hasn't checked to see if he's actually in there.
Right.
So then he doesn't respond. And she's like weirdly relieved. She's like, oh, he didn't go through with it. Now I don't, whatever. And she's like, I'm like 10 minutes into the drive and I just hear someone laughing. And then she's like, he just like punches his way out.
Whoa. Like pen 15.
Yeah, pen 15. Like emerges out. But what was I talking about?
I don't know. True crime?
Oh, but like what's so crazy about it is like, okay, so obviously they get caught, right? Like whatever. But the narrator of the podcast hits me with the most random true crime fact, which is hundreds of people die every year in police chases.
In police chases?
Hundreds of people?
I believe it.
Really?
Yeah.
Seems high.
I've always seen these like high-speed chases and been like, at what point are you causing more danger to the society?
Well, so that was
probably
the point.
Above what, 30 miles an hour? Like,
well, that was the point they were making, was that basically they tried to escape. I mean, they're not going to escape, but
escape.
That's what I said.
They try to escape.
Escape.
Yeah.
And he's going like 100 miles an hour down the highway, and so then they have all these like police units coming after them, and like eventually they crash, right? So like they survive, but they were like, they could have injured a civilian, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just like such a random Like, of all of the lists of concerns, like, she smuggled a murderer out of prison in a dog crate, and they're like, hundreds of people die every year due to police chases. I'm like, okay. Like, I was like, that wasn't where I thought you were going with that story, but, like, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's out of jail now, and she kind
So
of...
is old Escape from whatever, that other one we watched. She's out of jail, right?
Oh, yeah. But, like, you mean Joyce?
Joyce. Wow.
Classic
what
Joyce.
what a great, I want to rewatch that show.
Escape at Dannemora.
Oh, slow burn. 10 out of 10.
So good.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I
Speaking
agree.
of 10 out of 10s, you. But also, Deadliest Catch this season. And I have invested.
I can't believe there's a new season.
So I can't believe they still make the show because half the show is, yeah, we're going to look over here for some crab. And they drop the pots in. Then they go, 4 hours later, pull the pots out. They go, well, how many? 4. Damn it. And then they move them somewhere else. And they go, how many crab in that one? And they go, 80. And they go, yeah. And they play music. And then they tell you how much money they're making. That's most of the show. But
I do like when they open the pots.
Oh, no.
And then and all the crabs are like,
like-
and then they like take, shovels or brooms or whatever, and they're just like, get in the hole.
they are.
And it's like all these little like crustaceans being like, no, please, and they're like, get in there. Like
it looks really satisfying.
It's so satisfying.
And each crab is like $100 when they're doing king.
Yeah, they're big ass crabs.
Not bear dye. But when they're doing king crab, and then they go through the whole season, they're like, well, now it's bear dye season, and now it's, blue crab. I don't know the other ones. I do, but I forgot. So this one, there's an ammonia leak on.
Maybe this isn't a spider. Maybe it's a crab.
Yeah.
Because you've been watching so much Deadliest Catch.
I've watched 21 seasons of Deadliest Catch.
That's sick. That's sick.
There's COVID. That was part of COVID was Deadliest Catch, and then Last Dance, and then, Survivor every season. God, COVID really... What I think is so funny about COVID, as I interrupt myself again, nobody wants to talk about it but me.
Well, right, obviously.
They're like, this really weird thing happened for like 2.5 years, and people are like, shut up. Nobody wants to hear about it anymore.
It's really depressing. And then also, like, people's like loved ones died, and like...
I know.
And also some people who lost loved ones who didn't die from COVID, and then they like couldn't have a funeral, and they couldn't even see their loved ones. Like, so
It
sad.
greatly disrupted a lot of people's lives as I logged into my ESPN login, and they were like, you're 39, 9 months, 2 days, and 4 hours old. And I was like, God, I'm almost 40.
Were you like, it's banned?
No, I was like, damn, I'm almost 40 and I still feel like I'm 16. Other than the neck injury, the hip injury, the foot
torn
injury.
Achilles.
But
Wait, did you see the
wait, I didn't finish Deadliest Catch yet. But go ahead.
Did I send you that thing? Usain Bolt tore his Achilles?
Uh-huh.
And so they were like interviewing him, like, well, what do you do now? Like, because you can't really run. And he's like, sometimes I play with my kids until I get bored. He's like, and then I just leave. Like, all of the quotes, all of the quotes are like, you okay, little buddy?
Yeah,
like,
he's not.
like, sometimes I do Legos like by myself. I'm like, oh God, like
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, that's better than I play with my kids until I get bored. But on this, listen, on
it's
this
like
season
too honest.
of
His responses were too honest.
This season of Deadliest Catch, one of the boat captains has an ammonia leak in the boat, and he calls the other captain because they always are chatting on the phone. That's a big part of it too. And he's like, "You're not gonna like what I'm gonna tell you, but like that's really dangerous because he can't
Do you mean
switch on
an
his
ammonia leak?"
What would I say? Pneumonia? Ammonia. Ammonia.
I was like, what? I was like, is this some sort of crab term I've never heard of?
So Jake calls Keith, and Keith kind of looks like Jeff Clark. He's got the mustache and bald, and he's real fiery. And he's the guy who goes oonts, oonts, oonts when he gets a good pot. I love him. And when he fires somebody, he's like, "Get the fuck off my boat!" He's fired
Why?
like 4 people. Well, because they have bad attitudes.
And pneumonia.
Yeah. So Jake and the boys got to get in their survival suits. They freaking put a life raft out there, and they're just like, "Come pick us up, somebody. We hope." So Keith goes over. He's 4 hours away. And they're like, we don't see a raft. We don't see a raft. The boat's just floating like a ghost ship. And they finally find the raft. They pick him up. They get him on board. These men are weeping. They thought Jake's dead. They think the whole crew's going to die. He's freaked out. He thinks his boat is like effed. full weeping. I'm watching right next to you. Ugh, crying. 10 out of 10 TV. 10 out of 10. Back to you.
Well, I just finished Long Story Short, which I told you I did like, and is animated, but it's like a lot of Lisa Hannawald's drawings and whatever. It's good. Family dynamics, stuff like that. And then I just started, sort of like against my better judgment, I just started the CHARLIE SHEEN documentary. And so far, it's just made me like so desperately sad. Like it's...
Why?
So he's like starting with his childhood, and he's talking about visiting his dad. Like basically all the kids went with Martin Sheen to Apocalypse Now, like the set. And like Martin Sheen was also having like a ton of addiction problems. And so then they were like seeing their dad like all like messed up and like, I don't know, it's just like really depressing. And then like, it's a lot of, so he and his brother, Emilio Estevez, would make all these films together. They like lived out in Malibu and they would like make all these films. But like the director of the documentary is like, but they like the films like take a really dark turn because they're just like reacting to like the reality of like the trauma in their lives with their dad and everything. And like, it's just like, so far, I'm like not that far into it, but I'm like, so far I'm like pretty bummed. He did talk about how his dad and his brother are like really supportive of him, but like didn't want to do the documentary.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's kind of understandable.
Yeah. Well, I hope they make a documentary about Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, because I feel like it would be really similar in the fact that like he was 10 hanging out with like the Who and everything. So like I think like if you're exposed to like the fame, drugs, rock and roll when you're literally 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, they're really young.
By the time you're 35 and you're worth $100 million or whatever, because I saw one clip where he's like, I didn't care. You know, I bring a model over and I say, take a car. You like give these like hoes cars. He's just giving away all his money.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like obviously like
doing crack, having orgies.
Right.
I would watch that and be like, this is awesome. But you watch it and get bummed out.
Well, I'm only at his childhood so far, but you know, Malibu used to be this like really like not developed area, and it was kind of like
used to be in only Native Americans, actually.
Well, and people were like, oh, like people thought that CHARLIE SHEEN like grew up rich, but like, you know, they had 4 kids. They were just like living in this like small house out in Malibu, and he was like riding his bike with like Emilio and like Sean Penn. Like it was like,
yeah,
you know, like a little bit like Wild West out there.
Yeah.
Obviously like 0 adult supervision, like which was like common of the time. And it was just like a free for all. And then like Emilio started like booking jobs, and like CHARLIE SHEEN was like, I'm gonna do that too. Like it was very like, and because of who their dad was, it wasn't like such an insurmountable goal, but like they were like flailing around. It wasn't like they were like, oh, like this is the plan.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really so far it's
I'm
like
gonna watch it. I mean, I remember the CHARLIE SHEEN era of like 2010. I was living with Buck, and he went with a bunch of finance bros to the tour, where it was like, how about a little Tiger Blood? And people would say, I go, what was the show like? He literally was like, you know, he'd just kind of be ranting, and then he'd lose momentum with the crowd. And he'd be like, how about the Yankees? And then they would start a Yankees fan. I'm like, that is hell. You're addicted. So then the next night he brought Jeff Ross to like do something.
right.
Like somebody needs to be up there doing something.
Yeah. Well, but when
your event last night.
when CHARLIE SHEEN like talks about he hasn't gotten into like the meat of that yet, but he like is referencing it, and he's like, obviously he is sober now, and so he's like not blaming anyone, he's taking responsibility, all that stuff, but he's like the exploitative nature of that entire thing is obviously still making him sad, and he's like, you know, there's just a lot of darkness. It's just like, I don't know.
We've talked about this in the car or our other podcasts. IRL happens, but how many times we've seen, and we got to wrap, but how many times we've seen celebrities that are clearly going through a psychotic episode, and people are like, Anna Nicole, film her. Kanye, film him. Charlie Sheen, get him at the Garden. Like that is when it crosses into like fucked upness versus like Eminem's on a bunch of pills, but he's still at least able to rap to some degree. They didn't make a show like following Eminem around. You know what I mean? Like even then you'd have to be like, you have to go to rehab. Like this is, you know.
Yeah, I just think it brings up like, you know, and like the other side of the Charlie Sheen like madness was that he was on this CBS sitcom that was like, you know, like a Chuck Lorre, you know, production. He was printing money and he was like on a network. It wasn't like he was on some like edgy, you know, like Eric Andre, like after show. He was like in prime time. And then for him to be like out here with like, you know, drugs and alcohol and whatever else he was doing, it's like.
And also that show sucks. And
it's so bad.
What always blew my mind, like actually when I switched high schools, people were going to go to a Counting Crows concert. And I only liked rap at the time. And I always thought of every other band as just kind of like fill-in music. I was like, wait, you're going to go to see only Counting, like, or it might have been Jack Johnson or some other, you know, white people music. And I was like, wait. And then it always blew my mind where it was like, so-and-so from Wholesome, Boring, Lame Show is like going to rehab, and you'd be like, what?
You're like, okay.
But it's like money is money. You would think like, all right, the Van Halen is going to go to rehab, not the Third Rock from the Sun cast. You know what I mean? Like,
but they were there too.
they all go. It's part of Hollywood.
I just was gonna say something to you, and now
You're.
Oh, do you know what other TV show song Chuck Lorre wrote?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
No.
What?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Whoa. By the way, you left a major grievance on the table. Crack,
What is
crack,
it?
crack,
Oh.
crack, 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 crack.
I need more grievances for future eps.
Yeah.
It's a recurring segment.
I can't stop, won't stop. Bad boy.
There was one night where I was literally like, stop doing that. And you were like, oh, okay, sorry. And then you did it like for 4 more minutes. I was like, how many knuckles do you have over there? It's
My
disgusting.
thumb cracks whenever I straighten it.
So? That doesn't mean you have to do it.
You have do you crack or no?
No.
You crack addict?
No.
Crack addict, the boy back at it. It's like an urge that you gotta.
No, I get it. But when it's next to your head and you're trying to fall asleep before your son comes in to attack you.
Let me crack your neck.
I already did today, actually.
You cracked your own neck? Very bad.
Why is that bad?
Dangerous.
Why?
You feel too good. You get in a good mood. You realize you want freedom. You drive off into the distance.
Right.
You just drive west. You're headed to California. Top down.
Okay.
September is over. Only October remains.
Wake me up.
October 8th, Westside Comedy Club. 7 p.m. We both haven't had a good night of sleep in, what, 17 weeks? God. Anyway, October 8th, 7 p.m.
And we've been drinking a lot.
Westside Comedy. Yeah, it's exactly that Sam Morril joke. You ever think you're busy, but you've just been drinking a lot? We're like, yeah.
Like my whole life.
No, I was thinking about maybe doing Sober October, and then I was like, that's not going to work. I'm thinking about doing Soberish Octoberish and just throttling back for a little bit.
Okay.
Thin down, prune down, shrink up, get shrinkage, testicles retreat back into my body.
And that is the goal of every wellness plan. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, love you guys. Thanks for whatever.
love you.
Bye.